Have you ever wondered why your legs feel heavy, even when you're just walking to the kitchen? Why a simple stroll around the block leaves you winded, sore, or even a little embarrassed? Here's a harder question, one that might hit close to home. When did you start avoiding stairs? Not because you had to, but because you didn't trust your legs anymore? If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. In fact, in the US, over 40% of adults over 65 report difficulty walking or standing for extended periods. And yet, most are told it's just part of aging. But what if it isn't? What if your leg pain, fatigue, or balance issues had nothing to do with your age, and everything to do with a simple daily imbalance your doctor might have overlooked? In this video, we're going to explore the silent nutrient deficiency that could be weakening your legs from the inside out, the surprising truth about healthy foods that actually make things worse, and one simple, 2-minute daily trick that's already helping thousands walk stronger, longer, and even smile again when they do. This isn't a sales pitch, it's a lifeline, especially if you're over 60, tired of pills and ready for clarity, without fear, without guilt. I've spent over a decade helping patients in their 70s, 80s, even 90s reclaim their strength and independence. And I promise, if you stay with me, this might be the turning point you didn't know you needed. But first, let me tell you a short story. It begins with a woman named Mary and a set of stairs she hadn't climbed in 6 months. Before we dive into her story and the 3 nutrients that changed everything, let's take a closer look at what might really be behind your leg pain. 2. The misunderstood symptom. Her name is Mary. She's 72, lives in a quiet neighborhood in Florida, and until recently, she had stopped using the stairs in her own home. Not because she was in pain, not because of an injury, but because she didn't feel safe. Every time she stood up, her legs felt shaky. She described it like this: "It's as if my body forgot how to trust itself." Her doctor said, well, it's just part of getting older. So she accepted it. Until one afternoon, at her daughter's house, she bent down to pick up her granddaughter and couldn't stand back up without help. That moment broke her heart. But here's the thing, what Mary experienced isn't rare. And more importantly, it's not inevitable. You see, biologically, leg weakness isn't always caused by aging joints or worn-out muscles. More often, it's caused by something far more silent, nutrient-driven nerve dysfunction. Your muscles may still be strong, but the communication between your brain and those muscles, that's what gets disrupted first. When certain vitamins, like B12, D3, or CoQ10, fall below healthy levels, the nerves in your legs start sending slower, weaker signals. That's when simple movements start feeling unstable, or even unsafe. And here's something most doctors don't mention. Medications like statins, commonly prescribed for cholesterol, often deplete your body's natural stores of CoQ10. That one nutrient powers the mitochondria, tiny engines inside every muscle cell. When you don't have enough CoQ10, your muscles feel tired, sore, or heavy, even if you've done nothing strenuous. For Mary, the problem wasn't her age, it was a hidden deficiency. She wasn't getting enough sunlight, so her vitamin D levels were low. She had been eating less meat, so her B12 levels had dropped. And she had been on a statin for nearly 10 years, with no CoQ10 support. No wonder her body felt like it was giving up. But here's the good news. Once she started reintroducing the right nutrients, her body began to respond. Within 3 weeks, she could stand from a chair without needing her hands. In 6 weeks, she climbed the stairs again, slowly, steadily, but without fear. If your legs feel weak or unreliable, this might not be about age. It might be about what's missing. In a moment, I'll walk you through exactly what those key nutrients are and how you can begin restoring them. Gently, naturally, from home. But first, we need to talk about the one nutrient that powers every movement you make and how millions of people are losing it every single day without knowing. 3. The energy generator you've never heard of, CoQ10. Let me ask you a simple question. When was the last time someone checked your CoQ10 levels? If your answer is never, you're not alone. In fact, most people over 60 have never even heard of it. But this small, natural compound might be one of the most important things your muscles and your heart depend on every single day. CoQ10 or coenzyme Q10 is like the spark plug inside your body's engine. Every cell in your body, especially in your legs, your heart, and your brain, needs it to produce energy. Without it, your muscles start to feel tired faster. They cramp, they ache, they don't recover like they used to. Now here's where things get serious. If you're taking statins, the medication often prescribed to lower cholesterol, your body's ability to produce CoQ10 can drop by up to 50%. Yes, half. And the longer you've been on it, the more likely your CoQ10 levels have quietly slipped below optimal range. Think about this. You're told the statin is helping your heart, but it's also draining the very nutrient your heart and leg muscles need to function. The result? You feel weaker, but don't know why. You might notice your legs feel heavy walking across the room. You get winded quicker. You stop trusting your balance. And maybe, like Mary, you stop doing the things you love without even realizing it's happening. Here's the hopeful part. Replenishing CoQ10 isn't complicated. You can start by adding more CoQ10-rich foods into your day, like salmon, sardines, and organ meats. But in many cases, especially if you're on statins, a gentle daily supplement of 100 to 200 mg of ubiquinol, the active form of CoQ10, can make a remarkable difference. It doesn't work like caffeine. You won't feel a kick. But over time, 2 weeks, 4 weeks, you'll notice something softer but more meaningful. Your steps feel lighter. You wake up with more clarity. And little by little, your legs start to feel like yours again. For Mary, this was the turning point. She didn't need more exercise. She didn't need another prescription. She just needed her body's natural energy restored. And so do you? Now, what if I told you that even with CoQ10, there's one more piece of the puzzle your legs can't live without? It's the vitamin that comes from sunlight. But even in sunny states like Florida or Arizona, millions of people are still dangerously low. Let's talk about vitamin D and the silent epidemic of deficiency that could be weakening your legs from the inside out. 4. The vitamin that comes from the sun, but most are still deficient. Imagine this. You live in a state full of sunshine. Maybe Florida, maybe California. The sun shines most days of the year. And yet, your vitamin D levels are low. It sounds impossible, right? But it's not. In fact, studies show that nearly 60% of adults over 65, even in sunny climates, have insufficient vitamin D. Why? Because as we age, our skin becomes less efficient at converting sunlight into vitamin D. Add in sunscreen, long sleeves, time spent indoors, and a slower metabolism. And it's easy to see how this crucial vitamin slips away. But what makes vitamin D so essential, especially for your legs? Biologically, vitamin D is not just for bones. It's also for muscles. It plays a direct role in how your muscles contract, recover, and stabilize your body. When levels are low, here's what often happens. You feel weak standing up, you lose your balance more easily, your muscles tire faster, especially in your hips and thighs, and your bones begin to lose density, setting the stage for fractures after a fall. That's why doctors now link low vitamin D levels to increased fall risk, slower gait speed, and even chronic pain in older adults. It's not aging, it's depletion. Mary, the woman we met earlier, had been avoiding the sun after her knee surgery. She was told to rest and stay inside. And over time, her vitamin D levels dropped to less than half of what's needed for healthy function. Her doctor didn't catch it, but her body did. She started feeling wobbly. Her muscles took longer to recover, and she developed cramps at night, especially in her calves. Once she began supplementing with vitamin D3, just 2,000 IU a day, paired with a small dose of vitamin K2 to help absorption, things started to shift. After 3 weeks, she noticed more stability getting out of bed. After 5 weeks, she no longer needed to grip the railing while going down the steps. So here's what I want you to know. If you've been feeling unsure on your feet, or if you've had a fall recently, or almost had one, please consider asking your doctor to check your vitamin D levels. You can also support your body naturally with just a few changes. Spend 15 minutes in early morning sun each day. Add vitamin D-rich foods like sardines, mackerel, or egg yolks. And if needed, supplement with D3 plus K2 under the guidance of your healthcare provider. Because sometimes the difference between fear and freedom is just a little more light. Now, what about food? Coming up next, I'll show you what a leg-strong daily plate looks like. We'll break down which foods to focus on and which ones might actually be slowing you down, even if they seem healthy. 5. Eat for strength, not just fullness. Let's talk about food. Not just food that fills you up, but food that makes you stronger. Because here's a truth many people over 60 have never been told. Eating healthy doesn't always mean eating for muscle. In fact, some common foods that sound good, like bananas, grapes, or pineapple, can actually cause your blood sugar to spike, inflame your joints, and slow down your circulation. And when blood doesn't flow well to your legs, everything suffers. Muscles tire, nerves misfire, and walking becomes a challenge. So what should you eat instead? Let me walk you through a simple leg strengthening plate. Nothing fancy. Just food that works with your body, not against it. First, start with protein. Older adults need more protein than you think. And not just any protein, complete, bioavailable protein that your muscles can actually use. Here are 3 powerhouse choices. Wild-caught salmon, rich in omega-3s and vitamin D. Greek yogurt, packed with slow-digesting casein protein that helps rebuild muscle overnight. Eggs, especially whole eggs, which provide choline and leucine, crucial for muscle repair. A simple breakfast, 2 boiled eggs, a half cup of Greek yogurt, and a sprinkle of pumpkin seeds. It's not just fuel, it's therapy for your legs. Next, your greens. Leafy vegetables like spinach, kale, and arugula are rich in nitrates, natural compounds that improve circulation to your lower limbs. They also contain magnesium, which supports muscle relaxation and reduces cramping. Mary started adding a handful of spinach to her breakfast eggs. At first, it felt like just a garnish. But after 2 weeks, her nighttime leg cramps faded, and she stopped feeling so stiff in the mornings. And don't forget healthy fats. Your body needs fats to absorb vitamins D, K, and A, all of which support bones, muscles, and nerve health. A drizzle of extra virgin olive oil, a few slices of avocado, or a spoon of grass-fed butter can make a big difference, especially for women with early bone thinning or joint discomfort. Now let's pause here, because none of this requires a special diet plan. You don't need to count calories, or go keto, or follow trends. You just need to nourish your legs like they matter. Because they do. They carry you. They stabilize you. They keep you independent. And yet most people spend years feeding their legs sugar, starches, and processed carbs. Then wonder why they don't feel steady anymore. But now you know better. So tomorrow morning, try this. Skip the toast. Skip the fruit juice. Instead, make one small shift. Add a protein, a green, and a healthy fat. Because healing isn't about restriction. It's about real nourishment. And when you start feeding your legs what they truly need, you'll start to feel the difference, step by step. Coming up, I'll show you the 2-minute daily movement that helps lock in this progress, without needing a gym or even leaving your home. 6. The 2-minute daily trick. What if I told you that one of the most powerful ways to strengthen your legs only takes 2 minutes a day? No gym, no fancy equipment, no pressure to keep up. Just a quiet, simple movement done from the comfort of your own home that could help improve blood flow, rebuild stability, and even reduce your risk of falling. I call it the 2-minute chair trick, and it's helped hundreds of my older patients regain confidence in their legs. Here's how it works. Step 1, sit to stand 10 repetitions. Start by sitting in a sturdy chair with your feet flat on the ground, hip-width apart. Cross your arms over your chest, or place them on your thighs if you need support. Now, slowly stand up. Then, sit back down. Repeat this 10 times. Slow, steady, no rushing. Why it works. This single move engages your quadriceps, glutes, and core. These are the exact muscles you use when getting out of a car, a sofa, or bed. Training them even gently can dramatically reduce fall risk. Step 2, calf raises 30 seconds. Stand behind the chair, hold the backrest for balance. Lift your heels off the floor, just a few inches, and slowly lower back down. Do this for 30 seconds. You'll feel your calves working. These muscles help push blood back up toward your heart and stabilize your ankles. Step 3, ankle pumps seated or standing. Point your toes forward, then flex them back toward you. Do this 15-20 times. This motion activates circulation in the lower legs, reduces swelling, and gently trains your balance system. That's it, 2 minutes. You can do it before breakfast, while your tea is steeping, right before brushing your teeth. And here's the thing, consistency is what matters most. One of my patients, Tom, he's 76, never liked exercise, started doing this routine every morning after his coffee. At first, he could barely do 5 sit-to-stands, but by week 3, he did 12 without holding on to anything. And one day he told me, I carried groceries up the stairs. I haven't done that in over a year. 2 minutes didn't change his life overnight, But it gave him something he hadn't felt in years: control. So I invite you to try it. No pressure, no perfection, just progress. Your legs are listening. They're waiting for you to show up for them. Just a little, every day. And don't worry, I'll walk you through exactly how to combine this movement with the foods and nutrients we've already discussed. But first, there's one more reason this information isn't shared more often. And understanding why could change the way you look at aging forever. 7. The real reason you didn't know any of this. Let me ask you something gently. Has anyone ever told you that leg weakness can be reversed? That your balance, your muscle tone, even your energy can improve starting in your 60s, 70s, or 80s? If not, you're not alone. The truth is, most people over 60 have never been given this kind of information. Not because it doesn't exist, but because the system isn't built to offer it. Doctors today are trained to respond to emergencies. They're taught to diagnose, prescribe, and manage conditions, often after symptoms have already become serious. But prevention, nutrition, simple daily solutions like CoQ10, vitamin D, or ankle pumps, that's not part of the standard toolkit. Many well-meaning doctors don't have the time or the training to help you connect the dots between food, movement, nutrients, and leg strength. So what happens? You feel weaker? You go to the doctor. You're told it's normal at your age. You're given a pill for the symptom, but not a path forward. And somewhere deep inside, a quiet fear begins to grow. Maybe I really am just getting old. But I want to tell you something I tell every patient who walks into my clinic feeling defeated. You're not broken. You're simply missing pieces. And once those pieces come back, slowly, gently, consistently, so does your strength. So does your confidence. So does your freedom to move through the world without fear. Aging is not a diagnosis. It's a season of life. And like any season, it brings change. But change doesn't mean decline. It means you get to listen more closely, support more intentionally, and choose what kind of 70s, 80s, or even 90s you want to live. I've watched people in their late 70s regain the ability to hike. I've seen 80-year-olds garden again. I've seen a 93-year-old man dance with his great-granddaughter because he started with 2 minutes a day. So no, you haven't missed your window. You haven't waited too long. And you don't need permission from anyone to begin. Now that you understand why your legs may feel the way they do and what your body has been missing, let's bring it all together. In the final part of this video, I'll walk you through a gentle daily routine. What to eat, what to move, and how to feel grounded again in a body you can trust. Because this journey is about more than muscles. It's about hope. And you deserve that. You're not too late, you're right on time. Take a moment, close your eyes if you'd like. Now imagine yourself walking down the street, steadily, freely. No cane, no hesitation, no second thoughts. You're walking, not because you have to, but because you can. That's the power of choosing to care for your legs. Not with guilt, not with fear, but with quiet, loving consistency. Let's take a moment to gently pull together everything we've talked about. First, you learned that your leg pain isn't just old age. It could be a lack of key nutrients like CoQ10, vitamin D, and B12 that power your muscles and nerves. You discovered that even healthy foods like grapes and bananas may not always serve your legs the way you think. And that real strength comes from real fuel: salmon, leafy greens, Greek yogurt, eggs, and olive oil. You saw how just 2 minutes a day, with a chair and your own body, can rebuild trust between your brain and your legs. And most importantly, you remembered something that's so easy to forget. You are still capable. You are still repairable. You are still worth the effort. Maybe no one told you that before. Maybe no one looked you in the eye and said, "You can get stronger even now." But I'm telling you today, it's true. This isn't the end of the story. This is the part where you choose a different ending. So what can you do next? Start with one thing, one small change. Maybe it's adding a spoon of Greek yogurt to breakfast. Maybe it's standing up from your chair 10 times, just once a day. Maybe it's getting a little morning sun on your face, just for 15 minutes. Whatever it is, let it be simple, let it be yours. And if this video has given you clarity, hope, or even just a moment of relief, please share it. Not for me, but for someone else who may be feeling the same fear you once felt. Because leg pain doesn't have to be forever. And healing doesn't have to be hard. It just begins here, with you. I'm so glad you're here. And I hope this is just the beginning of your journey back to strength. If you'd like more videos like this, gentle, practical, and deeply healing, feel free to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, and take that next step whenever you're ready.